The excitement around the Mercedes team after the Spanish GP was palpable, with the team's strong showing in Sunday's race creating a much-needed upliftment in the camp, and it looks like there is more great news for Mercedes. In the context of this season, the Spanish GP was an excellent result for Mercedes, but the same could be said after Brazil last year. We all know what happened after that. So could this just be another false dawn for Mercedes? Well, we think we may have found something that shows that this may just be the case. So today we'll talk about the great news for Mercedes, who was pivotal in the W14's revival from Friday to Sunday, and stick around to the end as we show you how this may just be a false dawn for the Mercedes team. Like all things in life, things must be put into context. Mercedes' recent upturn in performance, while going in the right direction, was still far behind the Red Bull, a total of 23 seconds to be exact, and Christian Horner was quick to remind Mercedes, even saying that Red Bull had upgrades of their own on the way that would unlock even more performance. Just take a moment to think about that. It's pretty scary if Red Bull can unlock more pace from the car and the other teams keep failing as they do, then quite frankly, we can't see how the RB19 won't win every race. Now, there are certain factors in the pipeline that could alter Red Bull's progress, the biggest one being the reduced wind tunnel time that is still to come into effect, and obviously, the other teams getting their act together and challenging Red Bull. But we won't be holding our breath on that second one. But Lewis seems to disagree with us, and the 7-time world champion sent a small warning out to the Red Bull team, saying that they too have some upgrades in the pipeline. With the current package, we are limited to the pace that we had today, but there's a huge amount of work and studying and improvements that we hopefully will have coming in the future. Today, there were a good few tenths ahead of us, maybe half a second ahead of us per lap. On a single lap, that's a little bit bigger. I think we are going in the right direction, and I know we have something in the pipeline moving forwards, explained Hamilton. We are not going to lie, we were a bit shocked by Mercedes' pace on Sunday, as the free practice and qualifying were a mixed bag for the Silver Arrows. Lewis looked strong, but George, to put it bluntly, looked terrible until Sunday. I mean, the man drove into the gravel on the formation lap. This made us question how Sunday would go, but I guess we learned on Sunday that you really can't take much from free practice and even qualifying, as race day is an entirely different beast. They talk of F1 as a team game, and nothing more can be true of the behind the scenes at any F1 team. Maybe the two drivers don't always play nice, but nothing can doubt if a team wants to be successful, it is not just the drivers that need to pull together to make it happen, but the whole team. Now, I think most people were scratching their heads at Mercedes' sudden improvement, with the team struggling for pace and consistency on Friday during the 2 hours of practice time, to the extent that Hamilton feared not making it into the top 10 in qualifying. So what happened? Well, according to Hamilton and Russell, one of the key factors was Mick Schumacher, with the former Haas driver climbing into the simulator at Brackley to help hone the setup and the upgrades introduced by the team over the Monaco and Spanish weekends, with Hamilton heaping praise on the younger driver. We've got a great team, with Mick back in the simulator on Friday night, and he did some great work, which helped us get on the right track on Saturday. I think we did pretty decent work in trying to understand the different downforce levels, and in the race today the car felt great, said Hamilton. And much has been made of Mick's performances in his short stint at Haas, with a war of words happening between Steiner and Ralf Schumacher, and even Helmut Marko has gotten involved. The whole saga, though, is probably not great for Mick, and all the young driver will want to do is get back in a car and race. And if he keeps doing that, then we are sure there will be some willing suitors to take him on. He may just need to be patient, as, let's be honest, Haas is not exactly the best place to go to start out. And the next question will be, can the German driver replace either Hamilton or Russell? Well, if the news is true, then he may have to wait a little longer before he can even think of joining Mercedes, as Mercedes bosses are understood to have handed George Russell a contract extension. The former Williams star is expected to remain with the team for another season, with the Silver Arrows taking up the option to extend the Britain's deal by another 12 months. According to motorsport.com, this means the 25-year-old will remain with the team until at least the end of 2025. It is claimed that the deal could have been signed in April, while others suggest it was sorted as early as 2022. And as we can tell from the comments that you guys leave on the video, Russell is a bit like Marmite. Many people don't like him, but others love him. Personally, we'll stay on the fence for this one, but one thing is for sure, it looks like the upturn in the performance of the car has reinvigorated Hamilton. And if George thinks he is going to beat his teammate this season, then I think he has another thing coming to him. Such is the uptick in performance that Hamilton said that he and Toto are due to hold another round of talks on the 5th of June, with Mercedes having this to say about the talks. "I haven't signed anything yet, but I think we're meeting with Toto tomorrow, Monday, so hopefully we can get something done," said the 7-time world champion who finished second at the Spanish GP. When pushed to expand on the nature of the meeting, he said, "It wasn't a subtle hint. We've had so many meetings, and this is just another one of the meetings we're having." Let's be honest, around all the speculation around Hamilton's future, deep down inside, people know that he will sign for Mercedes. We have said in the past how the longer you let things drag on, the more chance there is of a surprise, but in this case, Hamilton doesn't really have an option. Ferrari is hopeless, and Red Bull won't have him. So there is only really Mercedes, and even Toto has said that they just need some time to sit down. And speaking to Sky Sports F1, Toto Wolff revealed, "We just need time to sit over a coffee. That's going to take half an hour." Pretty casual from the Austrian, but on top of that, if it's only going to take 30 minutes, why hasn't he just done it? We wish we had the answer for you, but we don't. So let's move on. Now, as great as Mercedes' performance was, is there more cause for concern? In particular, is this just another false dawn that will lead the team down another rabbit hole? Well, let's dig into it. Hamilton was ecstatic after the race, with the Brit having this to say about the car. "It was definitely the best the car's been for the last year and a half. So that's kudos to the amazing group of people we have back at the factory continuing to work hard and push the car forwards. It's felt the best yesterday and today that it's felt for the past 14 or 15 months. That's super encouraging, I think, not only for me but everybody in the team," said Hamilton. As the old saying goes, don't count your chickens before they hatch though, and in this case, maybe Mercedes should just rein in their excitement just a bit. And with Toto as team principal, they probably have. There was one major play in Mercedes' great performance on Sunday, and that is the small matter of the weather. Both qualifying and the Grand Prix took place in much cooler temperatures than Friday practice. Mercedes notably struggled with car balance and performance throughout the opening 2 practice sessions. Overcast conditions on Saturday and Sunday only appeared to boost Mercedes' overall performance further, something that Toto Wolff highlighted in a cautious assessment of his team's display. "Let's keep our expectations real. There's such a long way to go in order to catch Red Bull. We just need to grind away. But we also need to be realistic. Today the temperatures suited us. It was nice and fresh, not too hot, not too cold. The car was in the absolute mega window," Wolff told Sky after the race on Sunday. And not only was Toto cautious of the weather in Spain, but Russell as well. He hoped the result would be a sign of things to come for Mercedes, before later admitting that the car probably felt the best it's ever felt around Barcelona because of the cooler conditions. And now with a 2-week break from F1, you best believe the Mercedes team will be working overtime to analyze the Spanish GP and hopefully compete for the Canadian GP. With the images of Red Bull's floor now floating around, we are sure there will be lots of work happening at all teams' bases.